Kathryn Ewing, and I'm here to teach you a few tips and tricks and some guidance on the advanced getting started training. And these recordings will be available for you guys to share with all of your people, and hopefully we will help you out in some form or fashion today. So this is kind of the layout, our timeline of what we're going to tackle here in the next few minutes. So upon enrollment, you're training on boards, kind of like we previously did, and you're making that first post with them, whether it be virtually or in person. Obviously, in person is the best, but sometimes distance is an issue. But you definitely want to be there so that they can be guided and feel a little bit better. I'm not going to lie, when I made my first post, I literally closed my eyes and hit the button, and I was back and forth like, okay, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. And then I finally did it. And it was just like, oh, that was a lot less painful than I thought it was going to be. So you definitely, want to be there to help them out in any way possible. Again, invite them to those groups that we previously discussed. Share on Telegram, share on IPA, the IPA Zoom. And then we're going to transition once boxes are sold. That would be like 4+ boxes are sold, where we would train on the conversion, the process, and customer flow. And then we're going to move into Gold and Ultimate, where we're going to confirm the subscription, enroll in direct deposit, and share how to leverage their next order to possibly earn $150 or more. So then we will end with the starting a team, where we're checking orders in the volume report and reaching out to those team members to help them and further train their additional team members. All right, so this is where we give a screenshot of our boards. Again, I understand that everyone has many different boards. I personally have a lot of boards, personal boards, other team boards, this one, but this is going to be a good foundation for us. So if for some reason you do not have access to this, please let us know, and we're happy to send you the link. So where you see that arrow where it says start here, that's basically where we want to get everyone started, where it has the layout of all the things that we previously spoke about and all the groups to join to better help them in all of their success. So if you have not done the start here, I would definitely encourage you guys to do it. Even if you've been in the business for quite some time, just a refresher, kind of going through those steps and knowing what all your new people are seeing is definitely helpful and beneficial. So this is going to be in our back office, and this is where we would set up for subscriptions. So obviously we want to set up for subscription for multiple reasons. One, because we want to get the wholesale, the best pricing. And so if we set up our subscription, then we can open the door to those additional savings. Now, for business purposes, we want to set up a minimum of 100 PV, which occurs every 4 weeks. And we want to make sure that we're on the qualified week and our appropriate color. And if for some reason you don't know what your color is and you can't find it here, you can ask your upline, but also our partner customer support line is absolutely amazing, and they can help and walk us through this as well. But this is an area where we definitely want, when we're making people's transition, within that 3rd and 4th week on the drops, they've now decided that they want to join the business, whether it be for personal consumption or to actually make a business. I mean, who doesn't want any extra money, right? So we want to make sure that they are set up on their subscription by that 4-week mark. So that way, the next runtime, it will come out in a timely fashion and they can get paid appropriately. So super easy. And as far as the subscriptions are concerned, I personally do not put the drops on there because I purchase drops throughout the week, throughout the month, on other dates, other days as needed. And so for subscription, I actually utilize it for vitamins that I use. A lot of people will do it for a combination of items. Our corporate team has done a phenomenal job of making packs for us where we could get the Renew and the MOA, for example. And of course, that's just one example. We have hundreds plus products, but I would definitely encourage you guys to set up not for the drops, because that's something that you're more than likely going to order more often than the other products. And again, this occurs every 4 weeks. So if by chance the current month that you're in contains of 5 weeks, just realize that this is occurring every 4 weeks. And this also gives us the ability to get paid every single Friday. So this is an additional information on the subscription. Like I said, we have the pack. So on screen, you see an example of Limu and Renew for 100 PV. So a lot of people will do that for those nutrition supplements. And it shows you obviously on screen the PV earned. So like I mentioned, a minimum of 100 PV to be commission eligible. And it basically goes through each step as you are setting this up. Super user friendly. So as you saw on the previous screen for this example, we are color week green. So when setting up that subscription, our start date is going to be that next green date. So for this example, you see that it's the 26th. So you would click on that date. Again, it's going to be every Friday because that is the end of the week. And the beginning of a new week would be that following day. I'm sorry, back up. That is Saturday because that is when the subscriptions come out because of your week ending. So you won't be able to click on any of the other days. You would click on the Saturday and the subscription would come out on the Saturday and then of course be shipped out the next business day. So again, if you have any questions as far as setting up the subscription, just reach out. Any of us are happy to help. And then as you go along, I know me personally, I will change up my subscription from time to time, especially when we have some amazing promotional item opportunities going on and I stock up on a certain item. Maybe I have too many Renew at that time. So I want to change up my subscription for the next few months. You can do that as well. You can edit it or add an additional subscription and be able to void this one out. So there's a lot of flexibility and we definitely want to meet you where you're at, but just remember to be commission eligible, a minimum of 100 PV. So now diving in a little further into our dashboard, if you select one of my all-time favorites is the My Money option. And when you select the My Money, you'll then see on the right-hand side where it shows you those drop-down options. And you'll want to select that partner copay because remember, we want to set you up so that you can be ready to rock and roll and you can get paid on all your commissions that are headed your way. And so once you select that, you will then see these categories and you'll want to make sure that you enter in your social security number or your tax ID. And again, that's going to be for once you make over $600, the company will need that information. So what I tell people is just go ahead and put it in. Whichever one you're going to use, whether it be for your individual self or maybe you've done a business. And then you're able to, have that all set up and ready to go. So when you actually are setting up for direct deposit, you will select the partner copay, and that's where obviously you're going to insert all your banking information or wherever you want your money to go. I will say that one item that people kind of have a hiccup with is the direct deposit percentage where you actually fill in. I don't know about you, but I want 100% of it going into my bank account. But I will tell you to please double check it and make sure that you've saved it so that you can definitely get your check in time and there's no delay. But if for some reason something happens and you didn't save it, don't fret. Call our customer support line, get a hold of your upline to help out, whatever it may be, and we can get that updated so then you can get paid appropriately. We definitely don't want you missing out on any money opportunities. All right. So the big question we get a lot is how to find your volume for placement and to check it for your team. A lot of times, people get all the items that we previously spoke about under wraps, but then they're like, now where do I go? So this is another one of my favorite areas, which I check weekly, usually midweek, about Wednesday. You'll go to My Money and you'll select volume where you see on screen. And when you select volume, you should see a similar page here. And this is where a lot of individuals aren't really sure what each line means. So for this example, we have two legs, and one's a power leg and one's a pay leg. And so you're going to want to add your volume onto your pay line or pay leg. We use either of those terminologies interchangeably, because that's where your lesser volume is. And that's where we want to place the volume under, to help that leg. And then, of course, be able to get our commission checks and help our team members get commission checks in the coming Fridays. So that, let's see, it's kind of like a pink red color line. That would be your power line or power leg, because it has the most volume. So as far as your commission payout for Fridays, again, you want to focus on your pay line. And these legs or lines, whichever you prefer, they can change depending on that volume. They can bounce back and forth. So this is a great area to look at regularly, so that you can see when you go to place an individual, you can see where you would like to place them. So that white line, that top line, is going to be the pay line for this example. And so once you select it, you can then get this detailed information for all the individuals that have purchased in volume under you. And you'll see where it's circled around the order type and the PV total. You'll notice that in order type, it says regular. And the reason for this is we have filtered out regular orders because we want to see who's placing all these orders on a regular basis, potentially, 10 packs and 30 packs and what have you. And we love all the auto ships, but for these purposes, we want to take out the auto ships and we just want to see the regular orders. So as you can see on screen, these examples are only the regular orders, and then you can see the PV total that has been purchased under those individual accounts. Now, with that being said, we then will go back to our additional items where we go to the striking distance, because now we've seen who is placing the volume or whose account the volume is being placed under. So now we want to go in and see those additional people and be able to reach out to them. So we're going to go to our striking distance report, as you see on screen, where you would select it. And here is an example of our striking distance. So again, we look at our volume and we look at our levels, because we want to help individuals not only get to ultimate, but then exceed to the next level, maybe a title advancement. So in the previous example, we were able to see all of the volume that was going on and those individuals. And here is the same information with just a little bit more detail. So you'll notice the various volume amounts where you have 1,000 and 500. And basically, when I'm going through this report, I'm looking for the 4 packs, the 10 packs, the 30 packs. So what you want to think of is in volume is 208, multiples of 208, because that would be a 4-pack, or your 10-pack, which is 500 PV, or obviously the 30-pack, which would be 1,500 PV. And those individuals are being added to my list so that I can then reach out to them and see how I can help, so we can have additional conversations and help those individuals on their team as well as help them. So for these examples, you'll see where they have the point value. But then if you look over and it says ultimate and elite, you'll see that column in business level. Those are the various levels that, like I said, we want to help to get everyone to ultimate, because that unlocks the lifetime savings of that 30% on all of our products. And then, of course, helps them when the return comes as far as that new volume bonus where commissions are concerned. So you'll see Madonna, for example, on that first line. She's already at Ultimate, so that's fantastic. But then Tina, right under her, is at Elite. And you'll see to the right of Elite where she needs 192 PV, where until she would hit that volume. So she's going to be added to my list where I'm going to reach out to her and see how I can help her and how we can do this together as a team so that we can get her to the best savings as well as the return for the commission. So I would take this list and I would go down it and see who I could help from the ultimate standpoint. And then, of course, we could go to the next level as far as their title advancement. And a lot of those conversations will occur when I already have them on the phone as far as reaching ultimate to see what they would like. And again, meet them where they're at and try to achieve the goals that they would like to achieve. So, like I said, I've already made that list of individuals. So at this point, I'm going to take that list and anyone that is at week 3 and not ultimate, I'm going to reach out to them and I'm going to see how we can help and get that remaining total. I mean, who knows? They may have an order already in the works. And we want to see any additional people that fall on under them on their team who maybe we haven't met. Maybe we haven't developed a relationship. So it's a fantastic opportunity to really team up and get to know them even further, but then also help any individuals that have been added onto the team, especially if you hadn't even met them yet. And then, of course, anyone that are ordering boxes under individuals, that's a big piece of it because we want to definitely show people how you can do that. And again, get more return as far as commissions are concerned. As far as once you've reached ultimate and we can have that conversation as far as putting any additional orders under another individual. So let me see if I can get you an example. And I apologize, I'm jumping back. But with that being said, I want to point out something that I failed to point out here. So you'll notice Whitney, Kate, and Aretha. And to the right, you'll notice their email address. And you see Whitney, and then you see Josh Smith, and then you see Aretha. And you go, well, hold on. Josh Smith is Kate Bush. Well, that doesn't really match. So that may be another brand partner that's putting volume under Kate. So I'm actually going to reach out to Josh and have these conversations to see how I can help because he's the one that's potentially bringing on this additional volume. So you definitely want to utilize this once you reach that 1500. So like we have in this example where you see the PV and for anyone that's already at ultimate status. So Madonna would be one of our examples. Olivia Newton would be another. And Stevie, for example, they've already hit ultimate. So they would be on a separate list for me that I could reach out and say, hey, I see that you have reached ultimate and I just want to make sure that you're leveraging any additional orders under people to help you, to help them, and get a better return on your investment. And so these are amazing opportunities. We definitely want people to know and learn and all the things. So I hope that made sense. I apologize for having to jump back, but that was a crucial area for you guys to pay attention to. And then, of course, our customer appreciation and drop talks. One of my favorites events are absolutely life-changing, and it does not have to be anything fancy. It can be in your living room. It can be at a restaurant. It can be at a friend's house. Please do not think that you have to go above and beyond. You just show up and people see your enthusiasm and your excitement. And within that room, it's amazing the change and the transformation that can occur by making it so simple. Like I mentioned at the beginning, less is more. Well, this would be another scenario. Less is more. Just show up, tell your story, present this presentation that we have available for you. It's super easy and just make it simple for you. Don't worry about all the extra fluff and all the things. Customer appreciations and drop talks will go a long, long way. I can attest to that. And so at this time, I just want to thank you guys so very much. I'm going to stop the recording and